Welcome, everyone, to A Light in the World. I am your host, George Angel Ramirez. Thank you for tuning to this episode. Join me on this journey to spread more love and kindness into this beautiful world of ours. All right, how's it going, everybody? Hopefully, you guys are having a great day so far. Sorry if there's a little background noise right now. It's getting a little hot here in Tucson. I'm sure the people that live here know how hot it's going to get. But yeah, I have the fan on if you guys hear it. Sorry if you guys don't hear it, then there's nothing to worry about. But hope you guys are having a great day. I know it's been a little while since the last episode. I've actually recorded twice for, just an episode to record. And both of them, to be honest with you guys, I just really didn't like them. It's really the first time in a long, long time where I recorded something and I didn't publish it just because I didn't like it. So I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the right moment to kind of just record something, and it's not that I'm losing my touch. It's just, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't like those episodes. So it is what it is. Hopefully this one will go up. I feel like this one will be going up. But yeah, just kind of want to talk to you guys about what's been going on in my life, kind of a life update, some stuff. I know it's been a little while since the last episode, so I kind of just want to explain everything that's been going on, because there's a lot that's been going on in my life, a lot of great things, really nothing bad if I'm being honest. There's some stuff I do want to talk about, but we'll get into it right now. So yeah, life is great. Life is really good. I'm going to get a little bit of water before I start. Yeah, life is great. Life is great. And I know I say this a lot, but life is good. Life is honestly really good. I can honestly say that and sit here and tell you that mentally, I'm in a really, really good spot in my life. In terms of financially, I'm in a good place in my life too. Spiritually, I took a little break. On my spirituality because there's other things that I wanted to focus on. And, the thing with spirituality, it's one thing I've noticed is you can't half-ass it. You can't just kind of dip your toes into it and say, oh, okay, no, it doesn't really work like that. At least for me, it's never worked like that. It's either have to be all in or I'm just not or I'm all out, right? So that's one thing I noticed. So I had to take a break just because there were other things that I wanted to focus on. So right now, one of the main things that I've been focusing on is I started a relationship. And, that's another thing that I really want to talk about is I haven't been in a relationship in 4 years. So, going into a new relationship with this person, she's not my girlfriend yet, but I feel like that's where it's going to kind of go. We're going to, have a conversation, or I want to have a conversation this week coming up, or this week, or whenever it comes. These things have to come natural, I feel like, but I want to have that conversation just because, we've been talking for a while. We've been spending time with each other, kind of making plans for the future as well, too, and different other little things that, basically means we're kind of in a relationship. So I just want to see where she's where she's at and where I'm at, and, just kind of going forward. So that's one thing I took a pause for a lot of things, just because I wanted to focus on this person, try to make sure that, just a bunch of different things that I wanted to experience and not have to really worry about the podcast and not worry about different other things, that come with life. So that was one thing I was really putting a lot of my focus on, and I noticed that the more focus that I put on it, I don't know how to explain it, right? But yeah, like a lot of things in my life took a pause for this person, and I know that sounds kind of like a bad thing, but no, it's not, because I wanted to do it. I wanted to take a pause and take a break on a lot of things, just because, like the podcast, it takes a lot of time, right? The spirituality, that's another thing that takes up time. It takes up mental energy as well too. So that's why I wanted to focus on this person and see, are we compatible, or do I enjoy being with this person? Do I, just a bunch of other questions as well too that I had in my brain that I wanted to see. So that's one thing. I took a pause, and now everything's kind of going in the right direction, right? This relationship is going in the right direction. The spirituality is going in the right direction as well too. My life is just going in a really, really good direction. Even though it may feel a little stagnant in where I'm at now, I realize that there's a lot of things going out. There's a lot of things going on outside of my sight as well too. So that's one thing where I've noticed that even though things might be slow, there's a whole bunch of things happening outside of our life, or just I like using the word sight because I'm a very, what I see in front of me is kind of what I get, right? But I started to notice that, especially like with faith, and especially with just random things in general, like the podcast, or sometimes people will message me and, you know, say how the podcast is helping them, or just a bunch of other stuff that I never would have thought. I'm like, oh, dang, this person is thinking of me, and, they either mentioned it or they didn't. But, yeah, I'm sorry, kind of going on a little tangent here. But, yeah, no, life is good. Life is good. Then the reason why I feel like I paused, or I didn't release those 2 episodes that I recorded earlier, was just because I felt like I wasn't in the I wouldn't say perfect spot, right? We're all going through life. We're all going through things, and we're not ever going to be in a perfect spot for anything. But I just feel like, I don't know. I don't think I was in the right mindset. Not that anything really was going on with me in terms of anything bad, but I don't know. I just didn't want to release them, and I feel like, the one thing I want to talk about in this episode is the fear of life. Life can be scary. Life can be exciting. Life can be beautiful as well too. There's a lot of things that life offers to us, but one of the things that, when life is good, we a lot of the times we don't pay attention to that. But when life is going really bad, we pay more attention to that. It's like negativity, right? Negativity kind of attracts people, or like when you see a fight out in the street, right? A lot of people see that. But when you see like kindness or something, someone giving $1 to the homeless, you don't really pay attention to that. So a lot of the times we focus a lot on this negativity. I know I did. I started focusing on a lot on that negativity. And, before I was still in the same mental spot where everything was going good, but I had a lot of fears in my life, and there was a lot of things that in my life that I just would overthink, and that overthinking started coming more and more and more, and I really had to dial it down because it was starting to become a problem, right? Like, for example, a really good example is like this person that I'm talking to. Like I said, I haven't been in a relationship in 4 years, so all these, when things started going towards the right way, I felt like, oh, how long is this going to last, or what am I going to do to mess this up, or this and that and the other, and all these things just started coming to my brain, and I had to turn them down and dial them down, or not listen to that voice. And I noticed when I didn't listen to that voice, I would get proven wrong. Like, this person would prove me wrong in a good way. So that was one thing where I'm like, I'm not going to listen to this voice anymore. Or I understand, I recognize that this voice or this negativity in my mind is still going to be there, but I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm going to have to manually dial it down and just go on from there. And ever since I've been doing that, everything has been going great. I'll give you a good example where we went to the fair on Friday and everything was going good, and we were listening to Sublime. And for some reason, I don't know, I started kind of getting like a little mini panic attack. And I'm just looking around, I'm like, dude, everybody's enjoying their time. You're okay. It's going to be okay. There's nothing to worry. There's nothing to fear. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing bad is going to happen here. Just sit there and enjoy this moment with the person and her friends as well too. And I started doing that, and it took some time. It really took some time to kind of just settle down and just enjoy life. And, living in the moment was one of the biggest things that I'm trying to do. And it's scary. Don't get me wrong. It's not an easy thing just to do. It is very, very scary to do. I don't know why for me, but, my life is so used to chaos and a bunch of different stuff going around. And I'm so used to that where sometimes it's hard for me to just sit down and enjoy life and just see, smell the roses, look at the birds, and just see the things that are around me. And all these things take time. And that's what I'm noticing with life, is trying to get rid of that negativity, trying to just, sit down and smell and enjoy the roses, man, and see the birds and whatnot, and just take the little things for granted. But it's difficult. I know for other people it's a lot more it's easier for other people to do. For me, it's not. And sometimes I just sit there, I'm like, dang, of course it's hard for me to learn this stuff. But then I'm like, you know what? Don't be hard on yourself. There's no reason to be hard on yourself. You're only going to make things worse. Just do what you can with the hand or the cards that you're dealt with. That's all I can do right now, and that's all I'm going to do. And I'm starting to see the beauty in life more. I'm starting to enjoy life a lot more, enjoy the simple things. And, obviously, like, this relationship is something that I've been enjoying, man. I've just been taking things slow. I remember all the relationships I used to be in, I would fall in love quickly, and that was one thing where I was like, oh, I didn't fall in love quickly. Maybe I don't like this person, this and that. And then, all these different thoughts just kind of came into my mind. I'm like, dude, just sit down and relax, man. It's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. But you have to, I have all the, with therapy, I have all these tools and all these things that it's nice to have in my head. Like when I get a panic attack, it's nice that I can calm myself down. I have the tools and resources now where I can calm myself down and, not worry about the panic attack, right? So I have all these things. It's now accepting these things, accepting these, these things that I've been taught, that life is going to be okay. Regardless of what's going to happen, it's going to be okay. So it's up to me, maybe subconsciously, to understand that and say, okay, yes, everything is going to be okay. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear. Maybe that's something that I have to do subconsciously. But, this is all a process. Life is a process. And, we're here to learn. We're here to learn. We all have different paths. We all have different things that we need to learn. But I'm here to learn. And I'm here to teach other people as well, too, the best that I can through my experiences and things that I've been through. And, we just kind of go on to there. One of the things that I've been noticing is the fear of life. That's one thing that is true. A lot of people do fear life. A lot of people do fear of taking that step forward or taking whatever, let's just say it's a job. Maybe they're scared of applying, or maybe they're scared of moving somewhere else, or maybe they're scared of whatever it might be. And yeah, of course, these things might seem scary, but guess what? We make that fear in our head. We put that fear in our head. And when we just take that little step over, then things start to become less scary as well, too. That's one thing I've noticed with my life. Like when I moved to Colorado, a lot of people were like, you're not scared? I'm like, no, I've done this so many times. I did it in military school. I did it in California. I did it in Tucson. I did it twice in Tucson, not 3 times in Tucson. So I'm not scared of moving away because there's nothing to fear. I'm going to be okay. I have a backup plan. I have people that care about me. And even though I'm fortunate where I have people that care about me, and I understand that everybody's going to be like that, but sometimes that's just how it's going to be. Sometimes we're not going to have people that care about us. And I've been in a situation where I didn't have, I had people, like my friends were far away and my family was far away, but realistically, the only person that I had was myself and my dog. So it was something that, you have to learn. You have to learn how to be with yourself, because you have to learn how to love yourself in a non-egotistical way, for all these things to kind of come, right? Look, I'm still learning. There's still some times where I'm tough on myself and I say, all these different things, but that has decreased a lot less. I'm not tough on myself anymore, because I noticed when I was, all these different expectations that I had of myself, and I never would reach them. Because that was the ego saying, hey, you need to be the best. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to blah, blah, blah this, blah, blah, blah that. And then I noticed I started to overthink more and this and that. And, that was the one thing. That's the one thing I'm trying to not do as much more. It's just not try to fear life, right? Just try to enjoy it and try to, not take things for granted as well, too. And like I said, this is all a process. This is all a process, man. And one thing I noticed is there's a lot of people in fear. Get a little bit of water. I have a really good buddy of mine who I was talking to last week, and he was going through a tough time, man. Really, really, really tough time. And I told him, like, listen, man, the same situation that you are in right now, I was in. And I know you guys heard this story plenty of times of my depression and all the dark times that I had, and how therapy saved my life, and how I found a really good therapist, and how he's been a blessing in my life, and how he's just helped me out tremendously in my life. And I'm very appreciative for this person. I understand this person is never going to take the credit, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, I know what this person has done in my life. And I told him, like, hey, listen, man, you need help. You need help. I was in the same exact boat that you were in, and this is what I did, and this is what you need to do. This is what helped me out. We had the same similar situations going on, And I've been talking to him ever since. I told him, hey, I'm going to try to call you at least every day to make sure that you're okay. And this is not to make me sound like a good person, but sometimes we need to be there for people, especially people going through a tough time. And the thing I notice is not everybody's going to take your advice, right? Especially with therapy, man. I know when someone is depressed or someone is going through something, I try to, hey, therapy helped me. And it's going to help you, but you're going to have to want that. A lot of times in life, whether it's losing weight or mental health or some, just even health in general, a lot of times everybody, somebody can give us the best advice in the world, right? It's like, imagine you have a cousin and he's overweight and he won't, he's talking about losing weight and you try to help him and we're like, okay, like you can come to the gym with me and, I have this meal plan set up for you and this and that. And guess what? You give all of that to him. They don't take it. He's not going to lose weight. It's up to the person to want that help, right? I was talking to a coworker of mine, and he just that's one thing in life, man. One thing, people just tell me their problems. I don't know what it is, but sometimes people just come up to me and just tell me everything that's going on in their life. And look, I listen because sometimes that's just what people want. Sometimes I try to give my advice, and you can kind of tell when someone just wants to talk or when someone just, needs a friend or someone needs advice. But, I was talking to a coworker of mine, and he was just going through a tough time, and I told him the same thing. I was like, hey, listen, man, you need to go to therapy. He's like, yeah, but this and that. And I was like, no, there's no yes, if, ands, or buts, man. Like, you're depressed. From what you're telling me, you're depressed. You're not getting that much sleep. I was in the same situation, I was in the same situation that you were in. And I was like, telling him, like, hey, this is what you need to do, man. I'm not trying to force you to do anything. That's up to you. That's up to you to want it. Do you want to be better mentally? Do you want to be better in whatever way that it is that you want to be better? It's up to you, and then the motivation or the willingness kind of comes. And then, that's like for therapy, it was easy because it was easy for me. Why? Because I was in a horrible spot in my life. I felt so alone and I felt so I felt so little. And I felt so insignificant, and I just felt like garbage. I felt depressed, really what it was. And I knew that person who I was when I was depressed, that wasn't who I was. And I know I needed help, and I was willing to get help. A lot of people aren't willing. And look, I know it's scary. And look, I know that sometimes trusting a stranger with your problems isn't the best thing to do, but hey, listen, you don't have anything to lose. That was the best advice that I got. I remember before my very first therapy session with the therapist that I went to, I was scared. I'm like, I don't know. I've never really done this. All of a sudden, I remember I called my best friend and I told him, I was like, hey, Evan, I'm just scared. And the best advice he gave me is, what do you have to lose? I didn't have anything to lose. I was so low in my life that I didn't have anything to lose. And I look at myself where I was, and I told my friend, I was like, you remember when I was depressed. You knew when I was depressed. And you look at me now. This isn't to brag, but this is going to happen to you as long as you're willing, as long as you want to get better. And that's not something you have to try. It's not something that you work hard to get better. It's not like, you working out. No. It's especially with mental health, is are you willing to get better? So that's up to you. That's up to you, not just with mental health and not just, with anything in life. It's up to you wanting these things. So, yeah, that's kind of where life is. Like I said, life is good, and it sucks that my friends are depressed, but you know what? Out of all the friends that I have a lot of friends that are depressed. I really do, and it sucks, man. It really, really sucks because I'm not depressed anymore. I'm in a really good spot in my life, especially mentally, right? Could I be doing better? Of course. Anybody could be doing better. But guess what? I'm okay. But I try to tell people, hey, it's going to be okay. I know that's so cliche and easy to say, but I was telling my story, but a lot of people don't want it. A lot of people get comfortable, especially in their depression, and it sucks saying it that way. I was depressed. I was in a really, really, I didn't even think I was depressed. And then I realized where I was in my life, and then I wanted it. I wanted to be better because I knew that person wasn't me, and I knew that I was going to be helped. It was going to take some time, and it took a long time. It's not just something that happens overnight. I told my buddy that this isn't something that's going to happen overnight. This is something that you're going to have to want. And it's not just a straight and straight narrow path. It never is. Not just with mental health, with a lot of things. So it's up to you, man. It's up to you to want that in life, whatever it is. I know I just kind of rambled, but the fear, when you let that fear just grab you, it's gonna cripple you. Like I remember the fear of being in this relationship. Do I have that that fear that I had about a month ago or 2 months ago? No, I don't. Of course I have my fears here and there, but you know what? I don't listen to it. Because when I start listening to it, all these bullshit ideas and overthinking kind of come in. And at the end of the day, I don't need it. And it's just a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of lies I tell myself. And I noticed that as well, too. I'm like, wait, where's all of this coming from? And that was another thing, with the podcast, too. Sometimes I have my fears with the podcast. What if people don't want to listen to me, this and that? And I'm just like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, that's kind of a little update. The reason this is another thing I wanted to talk about. In terms of health, my health is good. I went to go get some blood work done. Everything else is good. There's a little mole on my hand that, is a little concerning. But you know what, man? If it's cancer, it's cancer. We're going to fucking beat it. And I'm not, if it's not cancer, even better. Whatever it is, I'm ready. I'm ready to take these things on. Whatever life has to throw at me, I'm ready to take whatever it is on. With the podcast, there's another thing that I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to, I keep saying I'm trying to ramp up production, this and that. And I am. One of the things I'm really trying to do that I've been doing outside of, recording was I'm trying to find a co-host. I'm trying to find someone to bring on constantly and, just not do this by myself, right? It can be a little hard by myself, but I'm trying to just bring someone else on, bring another face on, so it's not just me talking. So I can have better ideas with the other person or whatever. If that's meant to happen, then it's meant to happen. If it's not, then you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to keep on trying to do what I can on my side and just kind of, keep going forward, man. And I'll see how this relationship goes. But life is good, man. Life is good. I really can't complain. This episode, I just kind of want to talk about, some updates, a little bit of fear and, just try to motivate you guys a little bit more, I haven't been as motivated, if I'm being honest with you, with the podcast. But you know what? I got a little dose of motivation, and, it is what it is, right? I kind of got lost a little bit. But, yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. Hopefully everything else is going great in your life. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you, and have a good one.